There's a moment every growing restaurant operator knows. You built something real at your first location, consistent food, a loyal guest base, a team that works, and you earn the right to expand. Then you open the second location, and everything that felt manageable suddenly multiplied. Different numbers at each site, inconsistent standards, data sitting in systems that never talk to each other, and you, stretched across multiple locations, try to hold it all together through sheer force of will. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. I'm going to break down 7 proven strategies to take your multi-location restaurant operation from chaos to control in 2026. Let's get into it. Before we jump into this, if you are new here, this channel is built for restaurant operators, managers, and multi-unit leaders who want real practical strategies to run tighter, more profitable operations. Subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next. My name is Matthew Coblin. I am the founder and CEO of HubPlate, the next generation and future of restaurant management and POS systems. All right, let us start with the number that pulls all of this into context. According to Restaurant 365's 2026 State of the Restaurant Industry Report, 46% of restaurant operators are planning to open new locations this year. Among those planning to expand, 22% expect to open 1 new location, and 19% plan to open between 2 and 5, and 5% plan to open 6 or more. The ambition is real, but so is the operational complexity that comes with it. Research from Restaurant 365 also found that fragmented data is one of the biggest pain points for multi-unit organizations. When each location operates in its own silo, leaders lose the ability to see the full picture. And when that happens, margins suffer. The operators who scale successfully are not working harder than everyone else. They are building smarter systems. And here's how. Accept that single location thinking will break your growth. The first and foremost important shift is a mindset change. What worked when you could physically be everywhere stops working the moment you cannot. When you run one location, your physical presence is the quality control mechanism. When you run multiple locations, your systems are. That means standardizing everything: recipe weights, portion sizing, service timing, hiring criteria, training milestones, opening and closing procedures, inventory counts, and waste logs. Here's the critical part: documenting all of it in a format that is accessible and trainable at every location. If it is not written down and available to every site, it is not a standard. It is a preference that lives in your head, and preferences do not scale. Strategy 2. Build a technology stack that actually connects your locations. The technology failure that derails most growing restaurant groups is not a lack of tools, it is the wrong tools used in isolation, creating more data fragmentation rather than less. Here is a number that makes this real. Restaurants using integrated POS systems report a 30% reduction in administrative task time, saving a typical operation roughly 12 hours every week. That is time that goes back into managing people, coaching teams, and making decisions that actually move the business forward. What a connected technology stack looks like in practice. One POS platform used consistently at every location. Inventory tracking that works the same way at every site. Scheduling tools that pull from the same demand data, and a platform that lets you switch between locations to view each site's real-time orders, KDS status, staff clock-ins, and analytics individually, without logging into 5 different systems every morning. Industry data shows that 97% of full-service operators now use the same POS system across all their locations. The operators still running different systems at different sites are making it structurally impossible to identify where problems are occurring, which means problems persist longer and cost more to fix. Strategy 3. Control labor cost location by location. Labor typically represents 30 to 35% of restaurant expenses. In a multi-location setup, Overstaffing at one site while understaffing another quietly destroys your overall labor cost control. The challenge is that labor decisions at each site are often made locally by a general manager who may not have visibility into how their labor cost percentage compares to other sites running the same concept. Without that comparative context, variance goes unnoticed until it shows up as a serious margin problem at month end. Research shows that AI-driven scheduling can deliver a 5 to 15% labor cost reduction by identifying exactly when you need an extra team member and when you can safely send someone home early. And here's a number that puts the stakes of this in perspective. With restaurant staff turnover hovering at 80% annually, and the cost to hire and train a single new staff member running approximately $5,864, rising upwards to $15,000 for a new manager, labor management at scale is one of the most significant financial risks in any multi-location operation. Strategy 4. Track inventory and food cost independently at each site. With more locations comes more vendors, more waste points, and more chances for spoilage or theft. Without strong tracking at each individual site, costs spiral quite quickly and silently. Each location needs its own par levels, its own waste tracking, and its own variance reporting. Your job as the operator is to review those individual location reports and identify where the gaps are widest and why. The framework that works at scale. Each location runs its own inventory system with standardized item names, unit measurements, and par levels set consistently. Variance reports are reviewed individually per location every single week. When a location's actual inventory consistently diverges from what sales data says it should be, that is where the investigation starts. One of the most powerful tools available to multi-unit operators is benchmarking each location against your own internal standards, not just industry averages. When a manager can see that their beverage cost is running at 4.7% against an internal target of 3.5%, they know exactly what to address. Without that benchmark, they assume they are performing normally, and the variance continues. Strategy 5. Protect brand consistency without being everywhere at once. Inconsistent guest experience is one of the most common struggles for multi-location operators. Different locations interpret brand standards differently, and without documented processes, quality control becomes tribal knowledge that disappears the moment a key team member leaves. Brand consistency at scale is not achieved through physical presence. It is achieved through systems, training, and accountability structures that deliver the same standards whether you are on site or 3 states away. Menu updates deserve particular attention here. Applying a menu or pricing change to each location individually, switching between sites to update each one, is a small operational discipline that prevents the expensive problem of different locations running different menus or prices simultaneously. That kind of inconsistency confuses guests and fragments the brand identity you have worked so hard to build. Strategy 6. Build a layered management structure. Technology and standardizations are essential, but they operate on top of a management structure, not in place of one. As your portfolio grows, a layered structure becomes non-negotiable. Area or regional managers who oversee multiple units, coach general managers, and escalate issues before they compound are essential as you scale. The management structure that sustains multi-location growth has 3 characteristics. It is layered, with clear accountability from ownership level down to shift supervisors. It is data informed, with each layer of management accessing the performance data relevant to their responsibilities. And it is communication driven, with regular cadences for sharing challenges and best practices so that what works at one site gets replicated across the entire portfolio. Strategy 7. Switch between locations, not between systems. The final strategy is one that ties everything else together. The operators who manage multi-location chaos most effectively are the ones who can move between locations quickly, not physically but digitally. Being able to switch between locations in one platform to view each site's KDS, active orders, staff schedules, clock-ins, and analytics gives you the real-time visibility needed to catch problems early, compare performance across sites, and make decisions based on live data rather than yesterday's reports. The alternative? Logging into separate systems for each location, reconciling data manually, and piecing together a picture of your operation from 5 different dashboards. This is where most multi-unit operators lose hours every single week that they will never get back. One platform, every location, full visibility at each individual site. That is the standard to demand from any technology partner in 2026. So there you have it. 7 proven strategies to take your multi-location restaurant operation from chaos to control in 2026. Backed by research from Restaurant 365, Modern Restaurant Management, TouchBistro, and MarketMan. If you wanted to go deeper on any of these strategies, the full written guide is now live at HubPlate. Link is in the description below. And if you want to see what a platform built specifically for multi-location restaurant operators looks like, one that lets you switch between every location to view the KDS, orders, staff, clock-ins, and analytics all in one place, book a free demo at hubplate.app. The link is also in the description. If this video helped you, hit the like button and drop a comment with your biggest multi-location challenge right now. And subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video, and thank you for watching.